Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you my entire Post Malone record collection. I would say Post Malone is my favorite rapper, although he's not really much of a rapper anymore. I'm still a really big Post Malone fan, but the main reason why I wanted to release this video today is because it's actually Post Malone's birthday, July 4th. If you're watching this the day that this video is posted, then it's Post Malone's birthday. So I thought this would be a really fun video for me to make and post today to celebrate Post Malone's birthday. So I wanted to show you guys my record collection because I have a ton of Post Malone records. I have 9 of them, and I'm gonna show them to you in chronological order, so let's get started. But I am going to start with my LPs, and at the end I'll show you guys my 7-inch records. So the first record is Stoney. Stoney is Posty's first studio album. I think he's the only artist in my collection who doesn't have any black vinyl, at least for his earlier rap albums. I'm pretty sure like none of them are on black vinyl, which is interesting. So they're all standardly pressed onto colored vinyl, and Stoney was pressed on this really bright and cool orange vinyl. And there is a little bit of swirl in there. You probably can't tell on camera. Stoney is not my favorite Post Malone album. It's not even the first album I heard from Post Malone, but it's still really good. Definitely a really solid album. I like playing this on vinyl. My favorite song is definitely No Option. That is such an underrated banger. I never hear anybody talking about No Option, but it's so good. So that's my number 1 favorite, and my number 2 is I Fall Apart. I love that song so much. It's definitely a fan favorite. And I also like White Iverson. I'd say that's my number 3 favorite song. Next up is his second album called Beer Bongs and Bentleys. This is the first album I ever heard by Post Malone. I was definitely very familiar with the big singles like Psycho and Rockstar, and then one day I just decided to listen to the rest of the album, and even by the first song, Paranoid, I was blown away. I really regretted not listening to the full album sooner. I was like, oh my gosh, this album is so good. I was like, why didn't I listen to this whole thing sooner? I was definitely very late to the game, but this is an amazing album. This is sometimes my favorite Post Malone album. It honestly jumps back and forth between Hollywood's Bleeding and Beer Bongs and Bentleys. It's so good. I love this album so much. This one was pressed onto clear vinyl. Again, this is the standard edition, which is on clear vinyl. The vinyl cover art is different from the standard like streaming digital album artwork, which is interesting. I like this cover a lot better. The original one is just like yellow with some barbed wire. It's cool, but I think this one looks so much better for vinyl. There are so many good songs on this album. I don't know if I have a favorite. I really love Psycho, Rockstar. Sugar Wraith is definitely gotta be in my top 3. And I also really like 92 Explorer, Candy Paint. This is the album that made me a Post Malone fan. Then I have his third album called Hollywood's Bleeding. This came out in 2019. I actually just missed him on tour for this. October 2019, I just missed him on tour. I kind of have FOMO from that. I really wish I went on the Hollywood's Bleeding tour. I think it was called the Runaway Tour actually, but it was for this album. I kind of have regrets not seeing him on tour for that. I wasn't aware that he was touring. That's like my biggest amount of Post Malone FOMO that I have. This one is on pink vinyl. There were a few different variants for this, and I got the pink one on accident though. Like I ordered it from his merch store, and it was supposed to be the purple lavender looking pressing, but they sent me the wrong color. Then I asked them to send me a replacement, and they sent me this wrong color again, so I just decided to keep it. It wasn't worth the hassle. And I like the pink. I just don't think it fits the album cover that much, or the aesthetic with the album, but it's still a nice colored pressing. This is the other album that is tied for first place for my favorite Post Malone album. I love Hollywood's Bleeding so much. I think it's more of like a pop record compared to rap. I think Beer Bongs and Bentleys is his most rap sounding album. There's definitely some rap songs on here, but there's also a lot of like more pop sounding songs, so I kind of like that fusion with like rap and pop in this album. At this point now, I was a big Post Malone fan, so I remember listening to this album. I really love Wow, Saint Tropez, and On the Road. Those might be my top 3, but I also really like Hollywood's Bleeding, I Know. Next up, I have his 4th album called 12 Carat Toothache. This one came out in 2022. I didn't know it at the time. I guess really nobody did, but this was his last true like rap album. I feel like it's very similar to Hollywood's Bleeding. I think it's good. I don't like it as much as Hollywood's Bleeding, but there's still a lot of great songs on here I do enjoy. I have the Target exclusive edition. It's on opaque red vinyl. vinyl. I think the red vinyl looks really, really cool. Definitely matches the cover art. I feel like at the time it came out, this was Post Malone's most vulnerable album, especially like lyrically speaking. There's a lot of deep stuff that he talks about in this album. Yeah, so I really like this album, but it's not my favorite. My number one favorite song on here is definitely Cooped Up. It's one of my favorite Post Malone songs ever. Cooped Up is so good. My second favorite is probably Insane, or maybe One Right Now. Yeah, Cooped Up, Insane, and One Right Now are my top three. I Like You and Reputation are also really, really good. I finally got to see Post Malone live for the first time during this tour, the 12 Carat tour. It was a great mix of all of his albums. He played all of his hits, pretty much all of my favorite songs, minus a few. It was so much fun, so incredible. I loved seeing him live. It was his final rap album, kind of the ending to his rapper era. I'm so glad I got to see him during that because I don't really like his current era. I'm so thankful, so grateful I got to see him when he was still performing like most of his rap songs and stuff, and the set list was perfect. To go along with that, I have the 2023 Record Store Day pressing that he did. There is a deluxe edition to 12 Carat Toothache. It included 2 bonus songs called Hateful and Waiting for Never, and so for Record Store Day he released them on this 12-inch single. It's on a clear red vinyl, so I picked this up from my local record store for Record Store Day. They're not my favorite Post Malone songs ever, but they're still pretty good, and as a Post Malone collector, I had to get them to go along with the full LP of 12 Carat Toothache. So those were all of my Post Malone LPs. I want to say, like, going forward, I have not been a fan of Post Malone's new era. I don't like country music, and I'm kind of sad that he's now, at least it seems like now, his rap era is over. I don't know if he'll ever make a rap song again, at least not like he used to. I am all for artists changing their sounds and styles, and he's made like 4 rap albums, so I'm sure he probably wanted to change eventually. It just kind of sucks though because I did not really enjoy Austin or F1 Trillion. It's just not really my style. Yeah, so it's kind of sad. I definitely miss the old Posty. Now he's like this huge country artist. The genre change is crazy. So with that said, I'm done showing you my Post Malone albums. I'm gonna show you now my Post Malone 7-inch singles. It's not a ton, but it's a decent amount. It makes up like half of my 7-inch record collection, I think, or maybe like a third of it. So I have 4 here. 3 of them are actually from the Hollywood's Bleeding album. So the first one I have is Sunflower. This is the song that he did with Sway Lee for the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie. It's a huge song, like so popular, and rightfully so because it's a great song. I love it. I also have Wow. Again, this was one of my favorites from Hollywood's Bleeding, so I had to get it on single. And the other side of the single has the instrumental, which I really, really love. Like sometimes I'll just listen to the instrumental. I like the dragon on the cover. Very, very cool. And I also have Circles. So side 2 has the instrumental, and this one is on blue vinyl, and I think it's really cool to have the instrumental on the other side of the single, so that's another reason why I wanted to buy it and collect it. So to finish off my Post Malone vinyl record collection, I have the single that he did with Taylor Swift. This was on Taylor Swift's album The Tortured Poets Department. It's the song Fortnite. This is the Record Store Day exclusive from earlier this year, so Record Store Day 2025, and this is on white vinyl. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the original song, like it's okay. On side B of the vinyl is the Blondish remix. The Blondish remix is an EDM remix, and if you know me and you watch my channel, I'm a huge fan of EDM slash dance music, so I really, really love the remix that is on here. And I also wanted to support Post Malone this year because he is the Record Store Day ambassador, or he was earlier this year, so I wanted to get something of his to celebrate the release and celebrate him being the ambassador. Those were all of my Post Malone records. I am definitely missing a lot of pressings, but this is what I'm happy with. This is what I like. This is the music on vinyl I'll actually listen to from Post Malone, so this is like my ideal complete Post Malone vinyl record collection. Let me know if you like his rap era better or his current country era better. Let me know which version of Post Malone you prefer, or let me know if you like both, like if you're a fan of his rap and country music. And then also let me know your thoughts on my Post Malone record collection. Do you have any of the same pressings that I do? Is there anything you have that I don't have? Like, let me know in the comments. Also, thank you guys so much for subscribing lately. I've been forgetting to mention this in like my past 5 videos, but I will be doing a giveaway when I hit 3,000 subscribers, and we are so close. So make sure you guys are subscribing for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!